Copper is coloured because the electrons in the metal are arranged slightly differently from those, say, in iron or nickel, which look silver, which gives it the reddish colour because it absorbs light at certain wavelengths. Copper is one of the elements which is threatened. We may run out of it if we don't use it really quite carefully. So, for example, the UK copper coins are now just plated with copper, and they have metal inside, and different metal, usually iron. So what appears to be a copper coin is actually magnetic. You can pick it up with a magnet. So in the lab, copper, or the salt that most people, compound of copper that people most remember, is copper sulfate, which has a wonderful blue colour. And quite recently, an artist covered the walls of a whole apartment in London with copper sulfate with this beautiful blue colour. And copper sulfate itself is blue, but if you heat it up, the water that is in the crystal structure is driven off, and it goes a very boring, almost white colour. And there are a whole range of copper compounds which are completely white. Those where you have only removed one electron from the copper rather than two electrons which are removed in copper sulfate. But copper is a fantastic compound for all sorts of colours. In the old days, copper arsenic compounds were used for making wallpaper green, and many people died with the gases coming off the wallpaper when mould grew on damp wallpaper. Some people believed that Napoleon was poisoned by his own wallpaper when he was in exile on the island of St. Helena. But he was definitely not murdered by this, though it may have been enough to make him feel pretty ill. As far as I know, I haven't done much research on copper compounds, but I've used copper a lot for equipment. I used to do experiments at low temperature where you need copper to conduct away the heat from your apparatus. And so I've done all sorts of experiments using apparatus made out of copper, and I do some lecture demonstrations. I have a very nice demonstration that I use in lectures where it fluoresces, but I don't think I've done any fundamental research on copper.